Don't know why I was muted there. What's the story, everyone? Welcome back to GA Fan TV. Hope you are all keeping wonderfully well. It is the live watch-along, Armagh versus Derry in the 2023 Ulster Senior Football Final. It was obviously a few minutes late there. Apologies for that. I was at Croke Park, was at the Dublin Louth game. So I've had to race all the way back to here, obviously, to watch this game. So apologies about that. It was a few minutes late. And but it looks at things, it doesn't look like too much has happened so far. Literally came in right as Brendan Rodgers got that goal for Derry. Was a bit of a scrappy goal, in fairness, but that obviously has Derry in front for the time being. The score is Armagh 3 points, Derry 1-1. So Derry obviously leading by a point there at the moment. So that's the reason for that. Hopefully people can hear me now. Should be all good. Should be all good for now. Emmett's asking here anywhere to watch the match online for free. RTE player doesn't work where I am. Yeah, unfortunately not. I don't think, unless you were to get it on GA Go or anything like that. And obviously, yeah, not showing the game because copyright and everything else, just reacting to the game as it happens live. Obviously do this quite a lot on this channel already, so that's the reason for that. I don't know what's going on with my my keyboard here, but there we go. But yeah, 3 points to 1-1 so far is the score in favour of Derry. Just seen Conor Glass have a effort on goal there. It was looking good for the first 10 minutes. Dublin's quality is unmatched. Yeah, I think I'll do the match reaction maybe at halftime of this Armagh Derry game. I'll probably pause this stream and then do the match reaction for the Dublin and Louth game. But yeah, like it was a very, very good victory, good win. Obviously, first 10 minutes was a little bit reminiscent of the Dublin Kildare game, but once Dublin got going, they very much dominated from there. Wicklow will give them a good game, says Vladimir Rybakov. I'm sure they will. Who knows? Maybe Wicklow might be the team to beat now when you look at it, especially Tailteann Cup success and everything else. Wicklow on the rise, says you. But there we go. Padge says Dublin gave Louth an awful thumping. They certainly did. It was it was an absolute dominance from start to finish, really. First 10 minutes, a little bit, not the best, but once Dublin got going, it was absolutely dominant. Gavin says, hard to tell the teams apart from the colours. Yeah, I was just thinking that there. I was just looking at it and I was like, why is one team in red, the other in orange? I mean, should Derry not have wore their other strip or something of that nature? Maybe Armagh should have played in black. I don't know, but yeah, it is, from looking at it on screen anyway, definitely, definitely quite hard to tell which team is which there at the moment. But yeah, 1-1 to 3 points so far, 15 minutes in. I suppose a traditional, really classic type Ulster final. We've seen these type of Ulster finals down the year where it is quite cagey, quite slow. Both teams kind of, I suppose, feeling each other out, getting ready for the waiting for the openings. Armagh obviously mirroring Derry by the looks of things here, setting in deep. But there goes Brendan Rodgers with a lovely run, hits it on his right boot, and he has put that one over the bar. So that's a goal and a point for him so far. I'm not too sure who scored the other point for Derry, but very, very good stuff there from Brendan Rodgers. And Derry obviously in front, 1-2 to 3 points. Obviously, no Rory Gallagher on the sideline for Derry, obviously, at the moment as well, with everything that's going on with him. But so far, it doesn't seem to have affected Derry too much. And here they go on the attack again. It looks to have wide this time around from the Derry wing back there. But Mead man says, take it from a Mead man. You're going to hear an awful lot of moaning from Louth for the next few years. Yeah, I'm sure there will be plenty of people whinging about that Dublin win, and I'm sure the Crow Park thing will come into it again, and everyone will be throwing their giving up. But look, in fairness to Louth, like I think the I'd say it was probably there was 40,000 was the attendance. I would say 20,000, 25,000 were Louth fans. It was definitely more Louth fans there than Dublin fans, in fairness. Yeah, it was actually, other than the hill, which obviously was, I suppose 90% Dublin, I could just see red flags in the other stands, and it was mostly Louth fans. And when I was coming to the game, coming down from East Wall, there was probably about 20 to 30 coaches of Louth fans who obviously made the trip down. So yeah, fair play to them. Fair play to them for obviously making that trip down. And look, I'm sure they'll give it quite a good go, obviously in the group stages as well. But there we go. Another score there for Armagh, 4 points to 1-2. So I think it was Rory Grugan this time around. So Armagh keeping in touch with Derry, which I think is the most important thing. And look, hopefully, especially after the other, it's fair to say 3 provincial finals we've seen so far have been very one-sided. I think we hoped Louth would give a better game to Dublin, and we hoped Clare would give a better game to Kerry. But I suppose Dublin and Kerry are, I suppose, closing in on serious championship mode now. So that's probably the reason for that, in fairness. But there we go. But hopefully this game stays competitive, stays close, and we get the best. Patch says that Derry goal was jammy. Yeah, I didn't quite see it. It just looked like the ball was in the air and Brendan Rodgers sort of fisted it, into the ground, and it went in the back of the net. But it was good placement, in fairness, and he certainly didn't intend to put it over the bar or pass it. I think he definitely was going for the goal. So in some ways, it was actually quite clever from Brendan Rodgers, albeit maybe the way the chance came up was somewhat lucky. But here comes the Armagh goalkeeper, or the Derry goalkeeper, Oren Lynch, going for a bit of a slicer on his right boot, puts it well wide of the target there. But yeah, I suppose, you wouldn't be surprised to see both goalkeepers sort of make their way up the pitch and try and get involved in everything else. There we go. Oh, I'm absolutely wrecked after that journey back now, but here we go. Armagh and Derry, 4 points to 1-2. Hopefully we get drama. Hopefully we get a bit of a spectacle. But I suppose first 20 minutes to half an hour, I suppose, is always going to be that bit cagey, and you can see Armagh just keeping the ball, waiting for the right moments. Rian O'Neill goes for the slicer this time around, but well wide of the target for Armagh. Definitely a few wide so far. A few jitters maybe for both sides. Padge says great atmosphere at Clonus. Yeah, it definitely is by the looks of it there. Like fully packed, not a seat in the house. Yeah, the fans are absolutely brilliant. And to be fair to Armagh and Derry, 2 hugely footballing mad counties. Heard on the radio more loud than Dublin, so fair play to them. Yeah, it definitely was from the looks of it anyway. And yeah, fair play to them for making that, for, I suppose it's not too far traveling from Louth to Dublin, but at the same time, fair play to them, and yeah, disappointing not to see more Dublin fans there, but I suppose it is what it is. Like saying to people at the game that, when you are winning games so comfortably all the time, it does get a bit boring sometimes. And that's probably why a lot of Dublin fans don't go until the quarterfinals and semi-finals of the All-Ireland. But I suppose we'll have to wait and see. Here go Derry on the ball again, keeping possession, both sides. Very well set up defensively, you would say. Brendan Rodgers, very well so far. 1-1 from him. Shane McGuigan with a point for Derry. Looking at it for Armagh, Rian O'Neill, Rory Grugan, Charlie O'Byrnes, Greg McCabe, all on the score sheet there for the men in orange. So it's been, it's been a, I suppose, cagey enough game so far after 20 minutes. You were hoping that goal might have opened it up, but not the case. Here goes Brendan Rodgers again. Absolutely brilliant on his right boot. Brendan Rodgers is playing an absolute stormer so far from Derry. That's 1-2 from him now in the opening 20 minutes. And Derry lead Armagh 1-3 to 4 points. Top performance so far from Brendan Rodgers. Really, really impressive stuff. So there we go. 4 points to 1-3. Derry turning Armagh over straight from the kick out. I suppose that will be a big one, obviously, for Armagh. Like, they need to, they need to be winning those kickouts. They need to be winning the small battles to give themselves a chance. But look, if you're an Armagh supporter, I don't think you'll be too disappointed after the opening 20 minutes. I think the main thing for Armagh is just to keep with Derry, try and stay in the game the best way that they can, and try and sort of nullify Derry and keep as close to them as possible. Because if they do fall 5-6 points down, this Derry team will keep the ball for large parts, a lot of men behind the ball, and then they'll just keep hitting you on the counter-attack, and it'll be very, very tough for Armagh to keep with Derry's intensity. But here we go. Derry again, Armagh very well set up, trying to get the turnover. They almost get it. Still in possession. We've got Garrett McKinless on the ball. He plays it back there. He's just recycling the ball, keeping it calm, keeping the composure. Here goes Doherty. Goes around a few men, overcarries it, so Armagh get a turnover. A big turnover there for Armagh. Derry kept the ball for about 4 or 5 minutes at a time. So that will give Armagh a bit of confidence. Great Derry score. It was a brilliant score by Brendan Rodgers. He scored 1-2 so far. I think I picked him as my player of the week as well in my preview show. So far, you would have to say he's been the best player on the pitch for Derry. Trying to just spot the matchups as well and see who's picking up who. But 1-3 to 4 points so far in favour. Both sides very, very defensive. Like, just looking at Armagh, like, they have oceans of space here inside their own 45 to kick the ball around. Derry, every man back inside their own 30-metre line, really, there. To be fair, Armagh are probably playing similar as well. So it is cagey, it is cautious, as you would expect. Here come Armagh getting himself into a good position. Conor Turbo on his left boot. Has he bent that one over? He's put it wide. It's another wide there for Armagh. And it's another big miss there from an Armagh perspective. Really do need to be taking these opportunities, taking these chances. Couple of wides for them so far. And it's Derry's turn now to keep the ball and, I suppose, wait for the opening. So, 1-3 to 4. Cagey enough, but obviously big game, huge game for either side. Obviously for Derry to win back-to-back Ulster titles. I'm not too sure when's the last time they won back-to-back Ulster titles. Might even look that up quickly. But obviously for Armagh, having won this competition since 2008, like, there is a lot on the line, and the Ulster Championship does mean quite a big deal for these counties, in fairness. Looking at it there, I'm not too sure if Derry have ever won back-to-back Ulster titles. They actually did. They won back-to-back 1975 and 1976. So it would just be the second time in the county's history if they do win back-to-back. Going back as far back as the 70s. So that would be some achievement for Derry if Andy's group of players and management, albeit a bit of a controversy behind the man himself at the minute. But in terms of Derry, the team itself and the players, and everything that they've done on the pitch, you have to give them a lot of credit. So fair play. But here we go. Left boot just sails wide of the post there. I think from the corner back there who had ventured forward for Derry. Conor McCluskey ventured forward on his left boot there. Puts it a good bit wide of the target. It was a big chance for Derry. both sides, a lot of voids, you'd say, for both teams so far. And just looking at it there, nearly 10 minutes since Armagh's last score, probably 6 minutes since Derry's last score. Probably hasn't been the best game so far, you would say, but were we expecting anything different with how much is on the line for either of these two and how much, I suppose, it means for either side? Probably not, in fairness. Probably didn't expect anything different. But there we go. Just a reminder, we'll be recording the match reaction of the Dublin game at half-time of this game, so we'll be pausing this stream, and then we will be going straight over to that. So make sure to get yourself over there. Obviously, a little bit all over the place today with the fact, obviously, it was in Croke Park, but did want to go to the game. Still wanted to watch this game as well. But here we go. Derry in a good position. Shane McGuigan on his, I suppose, hand passes the ball over the bar there. Good score from Shane McGuigan. 1-4 now to 4 points in favour of Derry. Comfortable so far for the men from the Oakleaf County. Big kick out one there by Armagh. Good bit of play from Rory Grugan, and Armagh need a score. It's been 10 minutes or so since Armagh's last point. Hans says here, I'm a neutral, but I kind of want Armagh to win because I think they haven't won Ulster in a while, or possibly never. It's been 2008 since Armagh last won an Ulster title. So yeah, it's definitely been a while, all right. And obviously they probably are slight underdogs so far, or underdogs going into this game. Looking at Armagh's league form, Derry's league form, Derry winning it last year, but so far not so good for the Yorkshire County. I mean, another miss there from Conor Turbitt this time around, or Jason Duffy actually. So yeah, 5, 6, maybe 7 wide so far for Armagh. But they do win the kick out there. It's a big kick out one. Rian O'Neill on his left boot. This needs to go over the bar. And it has gone over the bar according to the umpires. Brilliant score there from Rian O'Neill. Armagh bring themselves back to win 2 points. Huge score there for Rian O'Neill. 5 points to 1-4. Big point there for Rian O'Neill. A point that Armagh definitely needed. There have been a couple of wides in a row there. They just needed to settle themselves down, get themselves the point, and fair play. They've done exactly that. David Goff has seen something here, the referee, and he's called something here. Looks like a free in for Armagh, so a chance to bring this back to a point. Or is he going to throw the ball in? I'm not entirely sure, but he's obviously seen something there from Oren Lynch's kick out, so he will call something here. So David Goff throws it in. Armagh win the ball, go down to the deck, and a free in for Armagh. So this should be another point, you would imagine, in front of the goal for Mr. Rian O'Neill. 1-4 to 5 points is the score so far. A lot of voids for Armagh. Definitely has been a lot of voids, but look, at the end of the day, they're sticking with Derry. I think that's the main thing, isn't it? You don't want to give Derry too much confidence or fall too far behind. Bit like what we've seen in, Monaghan playing them, and even some teams throughout the league as well. So they bring it back to a point, and that will certainly serve Armagh. Bit of confidence. Back-to-back scores now. Rory Grugan getting on the score sheet. Point number 2 for him. So 6 points to 1-4. Approaching half-time. And yeah, big kick out here. I think I'd definitely like to see Armagh win it, in fairness. I think as a neutral, just because Armagh haven't won it in such a long time. And obviously, Armagh fans are such a passionate football county. I love when Armagh are playing in Croke Park, because you're going to get an atmosphere. You're going to get a huge occasion. Not that Derry don't bring that. Derry do bring that. But I think Armagh are certainly, a little bit unique in the sense that I feel like everyone in Armagh loves football. It's a bit like Mayo. Like they just bring so much numbers to matches. Like even looking at the crowd here, like it does look like it's probably majority Armagh. Might be wrong there, but certainly from looking at it on the TV, that looks to be the case. But Derry have won themselves a free. Garrett McKinless was running forward. He was dragged back there, I think, by Rory Grugan. So this will be an opportunity for Derry to go back 2 points to the good. Shane McGuigan standing over it, 2 points so far from him. Will he be able to mark himself another score? It's Shane McGuigan on the left peg. It's bending very well. Bending wide, caught actually went short in the end, caught by Ethan Rafferty. So this was a big moment here for Armagh. Now on the counter attack, can they get something here? They go long. Derry are a little bit exposed. Armagh need to win that. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful stuff there, I think, from Andrew Murnan. But Derry, they win the ball back, and that was one hell of a catch there, I think, from Andrew Murnan. It looked like he almost sort of threw the ball up in the air as he caught it, and then, I'm not too sure exactly what happened there, but Derry do have the ball back, in fairness. David says, favourite Armagh player? Probably Rian O'Neill. I know that's probably an obvious one, but he is such a top class forward. He's a brilliant footballer. Definitely one of the best in the country on his day. I remember him at Croke Park a couple of years ago against Dublin. He was absolutely brilliant. But big fan of Stephen Campbell as well. Very skillful, tricky footballer. Don't think he's playing today, but a very good player. Charlie O'Burns, I done an interview with him a couple of years ago on the show. Obviously a bit of a fan of his as well. Gavin says a fifth different winner in Ulster would also show how great the competition is. It definitely would. Like when you look at it, Kerry have won 3 Munsters in a row, but if Cork hadn't have done what they done against Kerry that time with COVID and everything else, and Tipperary obviously winning Munster, would have probably been 6, 7, 8 in a row for Kerry. Connacht is a little bit different in fairness. You've got three big sides there. Sligo are obviously on the rise as well at the moment, in fairness to them. Shane McGuigan's just scored another point there for Derry, by the way. So 1-5 now to 6 in favour of Derry. But I'm not too sure how much at a time there will be. But here come Armagh now on the attack. They need a score. Obviously, Derry have scored the last 2. You definitely feel like Derry are the side with most of the possession. Armagh trying to sort of work the ball quicker. They're trying to ask more questions of Derry. But at the same time, Derry have been very, very clinical, very patient, very calm. And I've just probably just shaded the proceedings, you would say, so far. Armagh seem to have been fiercely unlucky, like Kerry when the All-Ireland Senior Football 2022 final Brazilian wides. Definitely a little bit unlucky so far. But there's a brilliant score from Rian O'Neill, and brilliant stuff. I recognise that name all right. So appreciate you tuning in. Great score there from Rian O'Neill. So brings it back 1 point game. I think Armagh won't be too disheartened with that. I don't know if there's much breeze or anything like that, or it doesn't really look. It looks to be a fairly clear enough day in Clonus, much like it is here in the capital. In fairness, great day for a bit of game of football. Obviously, bit of wind, bit of rain, but I suppose it wouldn't be Ireland if there was not that 1 minute of injury time. Look to have played it. Do Derry have a chance to score? They do not. So there we go. Half time. Armagh 7 points. Derry 1-5. It was obviously a few minutes late to the stream. Obviously coming back from the Dublin game in Croke Park. So just about seeing the goal. Literally turned on the TV, seeing the goal straight away. Brendan Rodgers obviously getting that goal. Derry shading it so far, but you would say both sides like fairly even. There's really not much between the two. It's a very sort of classic vintage Ulster final, you would say. Cagey, both sides sitting deep, waiting for their openings, trying to hit each other on the counter attack. Armagh definitely setting up to mirror Derry and try and sort of capitalise on any mistakes that Derry make and try and stay in the game. But I don't think either side will be too disillusioned with what they've seen in the first half. I think it has been, it's been a good, decent performance. Armagh have had a lot of wides, which they'll be disappointed with. Derry have been far more clinical. They've waited for their openings, waited for their chances, and they've capitalised on them. Porrick says, "What are your thoughts on the GA Go situation?" It's a tough one, isn't it? Like I think GA Go, like they are doing a lot of good stuff. Like the broadcast is very good. I've seen they're interviewing fans on the sideline as well, which is obviously great to see. They're obviously a fresh breed of new pundits and commentator. Well, not the commentators, I suppose, were the same ones on Sky, but no, like I don't disagree with it. Obviously, there's a lot of games on GA Go, and it certainly would be better for the games to be free to air. But I think I've seen Virgin Media apparently didn't want to have the games this year. They didn't have a broadcast team in place to actually go and do so, and they didn't want to invest in bringing it in. So, like, if it's not going to be on Virgin Media, you're then looking at TG Cahir. If they could have taken the free to air space, I think we would have all been for that. But I'm not sure. Like, I don't have a big issue with it personally. I think life is the way life is. With things being behind the paywall. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But there you go. Hans says Armagh, Monaghan, and Fermanagh and Down are the least relevant counties in the north, in my opinion, in the world. There we go. Shots forward to those counties. If Armagh win tonight, I would remove them from that group. And in fairness to Monaghan have a very small population, and they do a lot with what they have, and they have competed. They beat Tyrone earlier in the year, in fairness. But there we go. But anyway, we're gonna, I suppose, pause this stream for a while, take a bit of a break. I'm gonna record the match reaction for the Dublin game. So we'll be back shortly for the second half of the game. And if you want to jump over to that other stream, hopefully it allows me to do so. I'm going to be talking about the Dublin game, which, to be fair, there's probably not a lot to discuss. But we'll do that briefly. So I'll speak to this all in a couple of minutes.